On deck, we've got what should be a great matchup between the Detroit Lions and the Houston Texans. I'll be back with you again with scores around the league at halftime. But kickoff right around the corner. And standing by to call the action, here are Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis.
Thank you, Coach. EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the heart of Texas, NRG Stadium in Houston. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Detroit Lions and the Houston Texans. Hi again, everyone. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And, Charles, we look at this Texan ball club entering play here. And I don't think from what we saw down on the field before the game there's any doubt they're ready to roll.
They pass the eye test, don't they? This team looks fired up and ready to play.
Meanwhile, for the Lions here, an early season tilt. And when it's an early season tilt, should be ready to roll.
Well, let's face it, the aches and pains haven't really set in yet. And both teams eyeing a really good start to get things going.
Here's Cairo Santos now, ready to get this one started. And off we go on EA Sports. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So here are the Lions now coming out for their opening drive. They'll be led out by a former Pro Bowl quarterback out of the University of Georgia, Matthew Stafford.
And his arm strength is often described as out of this world, and I've seen some throws out of him that are just really off the charts. But sometimes he relied on his arm so much his footwork got in the way, led to some inconsistency. Watching him evolve as a quarterback, he gets better and better each year.
Let's go, man. Let's go. Ready?
They'll run for the first time with Johnson. And he's able to plow forward up to about the 29, just shy of the 30. Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it second down. And we look now at the Lions offense.
Golden Tate is a dream for a play caller as a wide receiver because you can use him all over the field. Use him out wide, bring him into the slot, circle him into the backfield where he can take handoffs as a running back. But the key part of his game, run after catch. Usually one of the top players in the NFL in that statistic.
On second down, Johnson. And he's going to be brought down by the face mask. Here come the flags. This is going to get him a first down.
Personal foul, face mask, defense.
So that flag will cost him 15.
And it doesn't matter anymore how you get the face mask. Any part of it, that's going to be 15 yards.
Now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. Following the penalty, it's Johnson. And he'll fight his way forward to about the 48-yard line. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
Waiting.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he goes across midfield and down into Houston territory. It's a gain of 6, moves them to a manageable 3rd and 2 situation.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
They'll try and run for it. Here's Johnson. And they go backwards here, losing yardage back at the 48-yard line. It'll wind up being a loss of 2, and that's going to make it 4th down.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
Watson will bring up the Texans here, 1st and 10 at their own 15. Now Watson. Wilson snags it left side. And he'll be a couple yards shy of the 20 at the 18. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down. And let's take a look at the Texans offense.
DeAndre Hopkins was named All-Pro for the first time in 2017 and really don't have to do much but look at the statistics to know why. 4 touchdown grabs in 2016, jumped that up to 13 in 2017. That led all NFL receivers. Also added in 96 catches and close to 1,400 yards. DeAndre Hopkins' ability to get free in the secondary is a marvel, mainly because of head fakes and body control.
And they'll bring him down at the 27-yard line. It's a 9-yard gain, and it keeps the drive moving. And a nice start there to the aerial attack to pick up the first.
And I think preseason is officially over now. Getting into the groove of the regular season, that's a great way to get started. First drive of the season, what a nice completion.
On 1st down, Watson finding his safety valve here. That's complete. And they work this well upfield across the 45. A good pickup there of 20 yards.
Nice little nifty play for him there. Yeah, that's the ability to read a defense and utilize players that don't often get picked up in coverage easily. And I'm talking about being able to use the backside of the backfield. Because I know that when I used to cover, hey, we got everybody oh, he just snuck out there, and they just got a nice first down there.
What do we love to say? Get those backs into space, right? And they were able to do that there. Nice pickup on 1st down. On 1st down, it's Watson. Hopkins on the grab over the middle. And he's got this down to the 35. Another big hitter there. This one good for 18. I don't think it's a surprise they're throwing the football early. We expected that. They told us they were going to come out firing, but 4 for 4 on the opening drive. They like that.
They don't just like it. They love it because now everyone gets locked in. Your confidence jumps up. Everyone's easy about what they're doing out there. And by the way, they'll look at the sideline thinking to themselves and expressing.
Got a man open. It's Fuller for the Texans touchdown. Will Fuller, 35 yards. And the Texans have taken the early lead.
I do believe we came here to see a game, didn't we? And it looks like he's running what we call routes versus air. You just go out there with your offensive unit and throw the football with no defense. He's 5 for 5 on the opening drive.
He was on his game there for drive number 1, but well, the thing is now he can't go any higher than that. He was so perfect. Can he do it again later?
Yeah, all he cares about right now is making it 10 for 10, 15 for 15.
Keeping that going.
And he feels like he can get it done.
And Detroit getting set to go now. They punted last time they had it. What steps, Charles, you think they have to take to make sure they don't do that again?
Well, let's just go to the football 101, the trade expression 101. Win first down. Make 5, 6, 7 yards on first down and make it a 2nd and 3, 2nd and manageable. Keep accumulating first downs that way. Keep moving the football. You don't want to get behind the sticks because...
And this throw will be intercepted. Picked off at the 45. And his guys will take over at their own 44-yard line.
Oh, Oh, man, Brandon, not a real good throw that time. It looked like he tried to put a little too much air under this one, and it turned into a floater. And defensively, this is a dream. He could have fair caught that one. That was way too easy.
And now out comes Houston. They'll be looking to duplicate the efforts of drive number 1 that resulted in 7 points in the 7-zip lead.
Well, you know how much I enjoy horse racing, right? Looks like they caught a flyer out of the gate, as they would say when you're running the big-time races. Means they get out to a fast start. They're setting the pace, making the other team chase now.
And on the ground they go with a running back. And they went the wrong way there, losing yardage back at the 43-yard line. Calling a loss of 2 on the play. And that'll make it 2nd and 12. Moving backwards on first down, never a good thing. What does that do for the mindset on 2nd down?
Well, it changes your play call, definitely, because as a play call, you're advancing yourself thinking, okay, we're going to get a gain here. Now you've got to go back in reverse, come up with something to pick up not just the yardage lost, but gain a few extra.
So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. And they'll go on the ground. Trying to bounce it outside, but he's only able to get it back to the line of scrimmage. Maybe a gain of a yard that time, but yeah, from the spot, actually no gain. So 3rd and long. And the Lions going with an extra DB here on 3rd down. A shotgun snap for Watson. And under the Lions' pressure, he's brought down. Well, they went with a nickel. They throw in an extra defensive back. Coverage was very good.
Yeah, it was exactly as you would expect. A passing down. You bring in the nickel package. Just as you described, the coverage was excellent and allowed one of their linemen to end up getting to the quarterback.
And that'll hit at the 5 and go into the end zone for a touchback. Here comes Matthew Stafford now to lead his offense back out there. And he'll need to find a way to shrug off the opening drive, if you can even call it a drive. 1 play and an interception, so he's got to forget that.
I know that in today's football... We have a good number of coaches who don't look at time of possession the way that the old school guys did. But there's still a place for it. And I think that on this drive, after having thrown that interception, they're going to want to eat up a little bit more clock and run some offense and give their defense a little bit of a break.
And they'll start the drive on the ground with Johnson. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. Nice way to start the drive, a gain of 12 and a first down.
Coming in, he really liked his chance of having a big year based on a terrific offseason. And runs like that on opening weekend show that he's right.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Now a first down throw. Stafford. An incomplete. Crisis averted. Almost picked. Instead, 2nd down.
Well, nearly another interception there. That would have been 2 drives in a row with a pick. He's got to start taking care of the ball way better than what we're seeing.
Interestingly, that throw was probably worse than the one he threw the interception on left. Oh, a hit. He lost the football. Stafford puts it on the ground.
On plays like this, when the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away.
Here with Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin, as the Lions are in possession of the football here to begin quarter number 2. They do, however, have a tough 3rd and long coming up. From the gun, here's Stafford. And it's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And they'll get him down here at the 23. They get only 4 that time as that leads us to a 4th down.
Well, that's certainly playing down and distance very well by the defense, isn't it? Take whatever you want underneath, by all means.
Nice job bringing that one back. 14 on the return. And the Texans will take over with a 1st and 10. And now out comes Houston. They got the lead. Last time had to punt it, though. What's the key to this drive?
I think it's leverage. Big guys up front. You know the motivational speech on the sideline is, guys, give us an opportunity. Protect the passer, create space for our runners, and let's go ahead and get these guys. Low man wins. Let's go do it on this drive.
We'll watch that leverage on this drive.
Come back, come back. Come back, come back.
They go play action here on 1st down. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. And give him a gain of 37.
Come back, come back. Richmond. 2-jet.
To throw is Watson. Throwing on 1st down. Over to the right side, caught by Moncrief. And he'll go down here right around the 23-yard line. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down. Play clock down to 5, and they're going to burn a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this 2nd quarter. And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. Sharp move, but can't find much space. Dropped just inside the 20. He was brought down by Devon Kennard.
The passing game's been working quite well so far, but the running game's been a little bit of a struggle, and that's a surprise to me. Typically, when you can throw it, you've opened up lanes for your runners.
And they'll get him down right around the 16. The ball's still a few inches shy of the marker after the 3-yard run, so now a little soul-searching on 4th down.
Richmond.
They'll run for it. This is Foreman. And he gets the first down yardage before he's brought down just outside the 10 at the 11. A solid pickup of 5 and a very solid fourth down conversion. And defensively, pure frustration. They'll get this down inside the 10 for a pickup of about 3.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on run downs. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the second level.
Flag down and out, Philly. Two jet.
Now a handoff working right. And only about a yard there as he takes it from the 9 to the 8.
That didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just darted in once he saw the run develop. That appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball.
Target. Reset. Check it back. Target. Check 15.
Now they try the right side here. And they'll be driven back here, losing yardage to the 10-yard line. He lost 2, and it brings up 4th.
We've seen this offense go for it on 4th down already on this drive. I wonder if they'll go for it again.
I certainly wouldn't rule it out with these guys. And Santos able to put this one up and through. It's good. And the lead moves to 10-zip. So they've put together a good little drive there, but ultimately stalling out in the red zone.
Yeah, I know a lot of people look at it as a little bit of a negative. They didn't get 6 points out of it, right? Didn't get the touchdown. But that's actually okay. They got 3 points, able to give their defense a little bit of rest, let them settle down over there. So all in all, to me, that's a good drive.
Back onto the field comes the offense. Let's take a closer look at Kerryon Johnson. They haven't been able to get him on track. They haven't been able to get this offense on track. No points so far.
Maybe it's time to start doing a few different things. Throwing the ball a little bit, maybe featuring other people touching it for a while. And then you get a chance to come back to it when things have changed a little bit. They have to make an adjustment.
There's still time for him here as we sit in the second quarter. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11. Now it's Stafford. Looking downfield for Jones. No, he almost had it. Already with 1 interception, just missing his 2nd there.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back work
under pressure, and the Texans able to get in there for the sack. Justin Houston in there to pick up his 2nd sack now of the afternoon.
Now, we talk about players blitzing all the time. I often laugh and sometimes call it just straight-ahead pursuit. What a running start right back to the backfield for him.
Yeah, it really didn't give anybody a chance to get up there and stop him.
No, I mean, that's really, really difficult. You're asking a whole lot anyway, but when he gets that kind of a start and comes through clean, oftentimes the advantage definitely goes to the defensive player.
Watson will bring up the Texans here, 1st and 10, right at the 30. From the gun, here's Watson. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. Call it a gain of 3, and it'll make it a 2nd down. Out of the gun, Watson. Throwing the out route incomplete. That's Hopkins. And getting this just shy of midfield, they'll spot it at the 49. We remind you that coming up in 2 minutes, we'll again head down to visit with Jonathan Coachman in Orlando, back for another year. He'll have scores from around the NFL here on this opening weekend. Rolling to his right. He's got his man on the crossing route. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. 23 yards on the play.
Richmond. Tiger.
Here's Watson on 1st down. That is caught at the 7. And they will eventually get him down, but he's inside the 5 all the way to the 3. That one goes for 24 yards.
I know we just saw a nice throwing catch, but how about the big guys up front buying that time? Yeah, that's exactly what they did. They created time and allowed the space to happen, and it turned into a really nice play.
Tiger, tiger, tiger. Tiger, tiger, tiger.
Again, it's Watson. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down.
Get your backs to the goal line. I can hear my high school coach right now. This is when force meets force. Got to be physical in order to win this battle.
Yeah, that's where the physicality pays off. A nice job forcing the contact and forcing the incompletion.
Yeah, Coach Ford would have loved that play.
They'll go again from the 3 here on 2nd and goal. He's going to get it running right. Gets around him. Call it a gain of a yard as they get a little bit closer here. It's 3rd and goal. This is kind of one of those in-between plays here, Charles, on 3rd and goal from the 2 or the 3 in that area. What do you dial up?
Something quick hitting. You don't have the time for something that develops slowly. It's got to be right at them if you're going to run the football. And if you're going to throw it, something quick, get it out of your hands in a hurry.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And he's in for the score. Touchdown, Texans. A great play there. Taking it in from 2 yards out. And the Texans will add on to their lead.
I heard a coach talk about those late-in-the-half scores, especially ones that give your team a pretty decent cushion. He said those could be the ones that can finish off a squad if you let them.
Yeah, they've got the cushion. This half has been theirs. Santos able to tack on the extra point, and that makes our score 17-0. Santos out down. He'll kick it away. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And time to spotlight Golden Tate. You better believe that he's well aware he has 0 catches right now, and they're losing, so he's probably a little hungry.
And you know the guys on defense are aware as well. And they're really excited he has no catches, but they're also worried because a lot of times that's like the ticking time.
And he's going to go down. The Texans come at him and able to bring him to the ground. Justin Houston getting him once again, his 3rd sack of the afternoon.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
So we've reached halftime here on opening weekend. All right, we will save the Week 1 highlights and apparently get right back to the action here in the 3rd. We'll see if Week 1 fatigue becomes any kind of a factor as we are back underway in the 2nd half. This fielded at the 2. Oh, he's got a little daylight. Defenders giving chase, but I don't think they're going to get there. Touchdown, Houston. Alan Lazard, 98 yards. And the Texans will extend their lead.
And talk about taking words and bringing them to life. At halftime, I will guarantee you in their locker room, they talk about pressing the kicking game because you can get an advantage if you do it right, and they just did.
Santos with the extra point, and the lead is now 24. So now the other return teams out there as they'll try to duplicate what they just saw. That's fielded in the end zone. And they'll put up the stop sign there as his guys will get it at the 25. So we get a look at the Lions offense as they get ready for their first possession of the 2nd half. They come out here with a 0 on the scoreboard. What was said in that locker room? That's what I want to know.
I would love to have been in there because we often have the feeling that there's a lot of shouting, screaming, people upset. But typically, halftime locker rooms are a lot more clinical than that. And in this case, Are they upset that the plays weren't working because of execution, or did they think they were just bad plays to call?
Yeah.
We'll find out pretty quickly here if they feel like they had something going, but they just need to do it a little bit better or not.
We'll find out. Again, it's Johnson. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. They get 6 on the pickup there as the drive will continue.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
Now a 10th carry for Johnson. And he'll get this up to about the 38-yard line. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
He really hasn't been able to get on track running the football, averaging less than 4 yards a carry.
Yeah, I think that they're going to enjoy the film session because all the defenders are filling their proper gaps on just about every play. And you know,
under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Jadeveon Clowney coming on the blitz. He gets him for a loss of 7.
So one quick, easy analysis about why they've struggled so far. They keep putting themselves in 3rd and long situations. They just took another sack right there.
And the offensive film session tomorrow may be a little longer than
under pressure again, and down he goes again. Jadeveon Clowney in there to get him his 2nd sack now of the afternoon.
Looks like another empty possession here, partner, and I don't think with 3 scores down in the 3rd quarter, they can truly afford any more the rest of the way.
No, especially the way their offense is sputtering. I think you're exactly right. They got to find some answers quickly.
Well, he wasn't too far from breaking that. Officially, give him 15, and out will come the offense as they take over. And now out comes Houston. They have the lead here. Well, we talk a lot about pregame speeches. What are halftime speeches like?
For the most part, not nearly as emotional. They're a lot more clinical. Every now and then, though, they'll get after you if they think they need to light a fire. But in this case, let's go into the virtual locker room, because here's what I think happened. They got in there and they said, listen, let's take control right away.
And
Defense,
got the lead. Yeah.
we got the lead. Defense, don't give up any points. Turn the ball back over to the offense and let them go down and score and give us more of a cushion in the game. Check so far. Defense shut them down. Let's see if the offense gets done.
And he'll get this up only to about the 33. 2 yards on the carry there, and it's going to lead him to 3rd down.
Sometimes your philosophies get challenged at times you don't want them to. They did try to stick to the running game on the first 2 plays. Didn't amount to much.
And now facing a 3rd and long at the outset of this drive.
The Texans on 3rd down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This is 3rd and 8. From the gun, Watson. And he fumbled it. It's on the ground. And the Lions have recovered.
We have seen this before, and we know coaches preach about this and work on it all the time. Catch the ball. You know there's going to be some traffic somewhere. They've got to put it away and secure it as they try and get downfield.
They'll try to get the offense going with Johnson. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8.
Tough day, tough sledding right there, and it's been that way the entire game. Not a whole lot of room to ramble for him.
Yeah, you're right. It's been that way all afternoon. Didn't get a whole lot better there. They go to Johnson again. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. It's a gain of 11 yards that time, and it produces a new set of downs.
Well, so much for him being bottled up throughout the day. Finally finds a way to break through and get a really nice gain. The defense had felt great about what they had going. Now they've got to turn their attention to getting it back in that direction. Can they bottle him up again? Because I'd say after that run, confidence is pretty high for him.
And inside the 20 before he's brought down. 15 more there, and they're on a roll. It's another 1st down.
Well, they obviously red man coverage their partner, and he got downfield, broke down the defender, made him
What do you mean by that, Burke?
Yeah, he made him think he was going to run a different route. Probably thought he was going to take it upfield. Then he curls back inside for the completion.
Just a yard on the 1st down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
Well, we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
Now Johnson, and he'll get this down only to the 18. Benardrick McKinney there to make the stop.
Vision is so important for the man in the middle because his ability to look through all the clutter that's happening in front of him, diagnose a play, and then go make it and finish it, that's when the great ones know that they have the goods.
And he's got his man on the out route. And on this one, he'll get to the 15, right at the 15-yard line. 2 yards is all they'll get on the completion. It's 4th down.
He wasn't the primary target, but I think it was almost like a check-down situation, wasn't it?
Yeah, hoping he can break some tackles, a big tight end, but he couldn't do it.
Yeah, get it to that big frame and hope he can scatter some bodies, unable to get it done.
So unable to convert for the touchdown inside the red zone, but they do come away with 3.
Yeah, it's a 32-yarder. That's essentially an extra point nowadays, right? Because it's 33 as a general rule for these guys. So it should be a simple kick. But you know what's really strange nowadays? When they miss an extra point, I think they carry that with them longer than missing a field goal because an extra point's supposed to be automatic.
Absolutely, and I would think even field goals inside of 30 yards, even though they're substantially shorter than a PAT, it just has a different feel, doesn't it?
A different feel, a different vibe. That's what I get from all the kickers I talk to. They always say, if I miss an extra point, that's the one that bothers me more.
Looking for a cutback lane, but nothing there as he's met at the line of scrimmage.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
Reset, reset, reset.
And they'll run it here. And he'll be brought down on what's going to turn out to be the final play of this 3rd quarter.
Offside, defense.
Well, we looked at each other right when he flinched. We knew that flag was coming.
Yeah, offsides.
Back now here on EA Sports. A lot of happy faces in the crowd at this point as their guys have a big lead here to start quarter number 4.
Reset, reset, reset.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And he gets it to the 32. Good enough for a 1st down. They only get 2 there, but on 3rd and 1, that's all they needed to keep the drive going.
I liked his focus there because he wasn't thinking about breaking that one big. All he thought about was, I need 1. Let's go get that. Ended up picking up 2.
Target. Reset, reset, reset.
And they'll go with a ground attack here. And able to use his blockers to get this up over the 40. A good run there on 1st down, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 2.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. I can just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, you're eager. You come running up there, I'm going to tackle this guy. By the 4th quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down 4th quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. He got maybe a half yard at most, but officially they'll be left with a 3rd and 2. No gain there on the play, and that's going to leave them with a 4th down. This late in the game, Charles, I think you maybe seriously have to think about going for it.
Especially where they are in terms of field position, because this is almost like no man's land. Might hurt your punter because there might not be enough space, maybe too far for your field goal kicker. I'm like the old rule. Possession is 9/10 of the law. Possession is 9/10 of winning the game. Go for it. Get the 1st down. Close it out.
Watch 10, watch 10. Come on, watch 10, watch 10. Reset, reset, reset. Reset, reset, reset.
And now before they run this play on 4th and 1, we're going to get a break and a timeout. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the 4th quarter. And with things looking pretty good on the scoreboard, they're going to keep the offense out there and go for it here on 4th. They will indeed snap it to Watson. And he's got the completion to Hopkins. Past the 20. Touchdown, Houston. DeAndre Hopkins, 59 yards. And the Texans will add on to their lead. I think all teams probably like seeing that schedule for the first time, looking at week one. Oh, good, we're at home. This is why you want to be home in week one. They're looking sharp.
And I agree with you totally. That's what you want, but there carries a little extra pressure with that as well, because you and I both know protecting the home field, winning your home games is paramount in this league. So you go into it, yeah, we want it, but now you actually have to go out and prove it.
Yeah, two sides to that coin, and looking like they're going to protect it here in this one. So the Lions offense ready to go back out onto the field. And last time able to get 3. It's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They mustered something out of the drive.
They'll take it. I like the way you've described it. Not ideal, but they'll take it. Anything to put some points on the board. But this time on offense, they don't even want to see the field goal kicker trot on the field. They want that ball in the end zone.
Yeah, they'll be going for 6. Over the middle, complete to Tate. And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. A gain of 6 there on first. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give him that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
Completing it here to Marvin Jones. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. First catch of the new season for him, and he picks up the first.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
On 1st and 10, Stafford. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he'll go down right around the 47 this time. It's an 8-yard pickup, and that'll bring up 2nd down. And just in general, Charles, on a play like that, how tough is it for the defense to account for a running back essentially being a receiver downfield?
It's very difficult, especially if the running back has skills like a receiver, and you're aware of that before the game even begins. So throughout your practice sessions, you're going to want to be aware of him. Where is he lining up? What can he do? What kind of damage can he do to us downfield? And who can match up with him without weakening our overall defense? You're exactly right. It's a tough task to match up to him.
Stafford now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. Again, it's Stafford. It's brought in left side by Tate. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Detroit. Golden Tate, 42 yards. And the Lions are able to draw a bit closer.
I think if you polled defensive backs, they would say the corner route, take that out, make it illegal, because that is so hard to recognize and so hard to adjust, because your first move is to not get beat in the middle of the field. And that's how they move you first before they break off to the corner.
But then as the wide receiver, great job. It's tough to turn those upfield and go, but he did a great job with it there.
Really good balance, really good body control. And how about the end result? A touchdown.
Now they're down big here in the 4th. They had to try the onside kick. Can't fault them for the effort at least.
No, you can't at all. And if nothing else, now you've put something that you're trying to practice, right, that you've worked on into a game situation, and now you can go back and dissect it. So if you need it again sometime, maybe you'll find a better way to do it. But, yeah, this game's pretty much done for them.
Back to throw, Watson looking left side, and he's got a man. It's Harris. And he'll be brought down, it looks like right at the 40. A gain of 6 there on first.
Target. Come back.
Now we'll play fake, and it's Watson. On the crossing route, complete. That's Harris. That one goes for 24 yards.
Richmond.
From the red zone now, Watson being chased out left. And he rifles one incomplete. The tight end, Luke Wilson, was the target. And now it's 2nd down.
All right, that one fell incomplete there, but the best quarterbacks, they'll miss on 40% of their throws, somewhere in that neighborhood, similar to a great hitter in baseball who's going to fail 7 out of 10 times and still have a great year. In this case, you want perfection, but way better that it hits the ground instead of going to an opposite color jersey.
Now a handoff looking right. He takes us down to about the 12 for a gain of 3. And in this situation with the lead, fourth quarter, they're liking keeping the ball on the ground, I'm sure.
That's just smart football, but you know the defense has to know it as well. They've got to stop them here. So now we're going to see.
And he'll take this one in for a Texans touchdown. A great effort there. Already his second touchdown here in this opening weekend. And the Texans will extend their lead. So another score there. Often you talk about the three phases of the game: defense, offense, special teams. It's been a clean sweep in this one, hasn't it?
It certainly has. They've been pretty dominant throughout this game. And privately, the head coach will add a fourth phase. That's the coaching. And he'll tell the ownership that as he tries to negotiate a new contract off of this win.
So they are looking strong here in the fourth quarter. And Detroit getting set to go now. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
And nearly picked off. Surprising to see a defender of his caliber let it get away, but it does get away and it's second down. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden a secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
Back to the air. Stafford on second down. And he will find his man on the outside. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a third down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
And this is going to be incomplete.
Sometimes it's just not your day. There's another failure right there on third down.
Here's Sam Martin now. He's been one of their few bright spots so far. Time for a break. Yeah, he was looking for the checkout bounce, didn't get it. That scoots all the way into the end zone now for a touchback. So it's Texans football as we welcome you back. And they have just about put this one on ice as they've got it here, 1st and 10.
Reset, reset, reset. Hey, alert three. Two jet.
And Watson's going to throw it here. He's going to let this go deep, back over the middle. And a scary incompletion, almost picked off. It would have been their first INT of the game. Instead, second down. Fourth quarter, you've got the big lead. If you're coaching, Charles, you still taking shots like that downfield?
I'd be a little more concerned with running some clock and making sure you're taking care of the lead, because you keep flinging it around, you throw a couple of picks, you can put yourself in jeopardy.
Now a deep ball there on second down, but it'll wind up incomplete.
Finally, a good play there defensively on the deep ball. The secondary has had its struggles this entire game. Offensively, they've had their way with them.
The Texans on third down. They've converted 3 times in 8 chances. This is 3rd and 10.
Target.
To throw is Watson. Toward the sideline. Did he keep the feet in? Yes, he got them both down, says the side judge. And that's good enough for a first down. It's a gain of 20 and picking up the first. And with that last play, he's now up over that 300-yard mark.
And in today's NFL, it almost feels routine. And I hate that when you talk about a 300-yard passing game. To me, 300 yards still signifies excellence, and he's achieved that in this performance.
Here's Watson. Throw left side, complete to QT. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. 12 more yards there and another first down.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go, because he might wander into some tough coverage.
And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10.
Reset.
And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And he's going to get this down near the 30-yard line. Another big hitter there. This one good for 18. So 1st and 10 now from the 30.
Reset.
Running game working. They'll stick with it on first down. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. And before this second down play, we'll get a whistle, a signal, and a timeout. That'll leave him with just one remaining in this fourth quarter of play.
Come back, come back.
Throwing now, Watson. And to the left side here, Wilson. And they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line. That one good for 7 as this long drive continues and the chains move again. Now a play fake here on first down. And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. The Texans going to signal for their third and final timeout. And as the two teams talk it over on their respective sidelines, we take a break. So now 20 yards to go on second down after the sack. Work to be done. Now Watson from the gun. He'll throw. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. Call it a pickup of 7, and that'll make it 3rd and 13.
Well, it's tough to be a defender in today's NFL because there's so many things to account for in today's passing game, including the back sneaking out of the backfield. Not quite as bad as a turkey bowl where you have the center-eligible stuff, but still a lot of guys to account for.
It's a pickup of 13, but they're still a bit short, and it'll be 4th down.
Whether you're playing West Coast offense or not, one of the maxims of the West Coast offense is you're either throwing a touchdown or a check down. In other words, look for the big shot, but be smart. I think they did exactly that on that play. They didn't get the first down, but they're taking care of the ball well.
Yeah, and being rightly cautious with that lead here in the second half. And that'll be incomplete with just 6 seconds left on the clock. The Texans tried it, but they come up empty here on 4th. And the Lions will take over. So they were really trying to put the nail in the coffin there already with this lead here in the 4th, but they didn't get it.
Guaranteed. It's not going to be a fun handshake in the postgame, right? You just know that there's going to be some bad blood there. And I know if we go to the postgame press conferences, the winning coach, you know what he's going to say, why he did it? We need the points, okay? Because you never know at the end of the year if points are going to come into the tiebreaker if we're trying to get into the playoffs. That's always the standard justification.
Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete. One last throw here for Stafford. He's going to let it fly. And that will be incomplete as time has run out on this football game. And partner, this first week, this first game that we get to call together, so special every year, week 1. You had the flyover, the big American flag out there before the game, all the hoopla, just having football back, so special.
It is an open